Well, we have Vince Ingui coming in, and he's our big expert on mortgage business. He has a mortgage company. A lot of people's lifetimes lower than they've been in 51 years, and he's going to tell us, should we wait to refinance? Is now the time before the rates go up? And this is really the key to getting the economy back together. We need to get people borrowing money again, freeing up some cash, and that'll start spending and maybe hiring and the whole bit. And a lot of hiring of mortgage people. All those people that got laid off when the mortgage business went flat, maybe they'll all have jobs again.
They're going to need some help, those companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
all
true.
Right.
Well, we continue to hear news about the mortgage industry. It's a mess.
Yeah, some of it is fact. Of course, some of it is fiction. So the question is, what should we believe?
So we have some help for you this morning. Here with some answers for us is Vince Ingui, president of Levere's Mortgage, located in Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me back.
So we thought this was important because there are so many, as John just said, so many myths out there, and people hear so many different things, and we wanted to know what's credible and what's not. And the first one we're going to deal with, a lot of people think you can just call your mortgage company and they're going to lower your payments. And it's not so simple. And I should mention, I know for a fact, because I've gotten emails, there are people who are watching, they haven't necessarily hit foreclosure, but they're on thin ice. They're barely making their payments. And unless you miss a payment, sometimes you don't qualify for those programs out there.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I mean, that's the moral hazard right now, is that until you're behind, many banks are not willing to work with you. So the advice we're giving many of our clients is, if you're in a tough situation as far as your mortgage or interest rate is too high, you're in an adjustable rate that's changing constantly, call your existing mortgage company and call other mortgage companies or mortgage brokers to see what other deals are out there. If you can't qualify for a refinance, you could probably make a pretty good case for a financial hardship, because you're either upside down in your equity, your credit is bad, you don't have enough income. But to get that help or that modification from your existing lender, it's a process. I mean, you have to go in, apply for a financial hardship. That lender has to deem that you're in a financial hardship to potentially modify your current loan terms.
Second, we talked months ago about this government plan that came out and said, okay, we want to lower mortgages and level the field here to 4.5%. All right, I check rates. I've never seen 4.5%. Are we ever going to see this?
We might. It depends on what Secretary Geithner says today. I think might have a play on it. But here's the inside scoop on why we haven't got to 4.5%, and frankly why so many people are waiting for us to get to 4.5%. The government is buying mortgage-backed securities. So in other words, about $500, $600 billion they're buying. But they're buying mortgages at a 5.5%, or there's 6% plus mortgages that are out there currently on the market. So that's keeping rates in the fives, but not as low as 4.5%. So, I mean, we've come across many people recently that said, okay, I've got a 6.5% on our mortgage. I know that I can get 5% right now, but I want to hold out because I know that interest rates are going to get to 4.5%. If you think about it from the perspective of, okay, refinancing from a 6.5% to 5% is going to save me $300 a month, okay? What's the incremental difference of getting that 4.5 or that 4.75? Maybe another $20 to $30 a month. So by waiting for that extra month or those extra 2 months, you may not even get the 4.5%, and it will take you 2 to 3 years to recoup the opportunity cost of not taking the savings on the front end. I mean, let's face it, interest rates are extremely low. I mean, even Ben Franklin couldn't get money this cheap, you know.
All right, here's another one, and it's actually on the end of the spectrum, on the other end of the spectrum from what I was just talking about. There are a lot of people, or there's a myth that nobody's getting approved for mortgages. That's not true, or getting money to qualify. And some people are getting more money than they thought they could ever qualify for.
Well, part true, part false. The false part is that you can't get money. I've had a number of even Fox viewers that have called me and said, hey, I'm looking to buy a house, my credit's not perfect, I don't have a lot to put down. Is it impossible for me to get a mortgage? I mean, do I have to put down 10, 20% to even qualify? Absolutely not. You could still do a mortgage through FHA or government mortgage with as little as 3.5% down right now. If you qualify for VA benefits, you can do it with no money down. And if you live in a rural community through the USDA program, you can also do it with no money down. So there's still opportunity, and without perfect credit. So there's plenty of opportunities to get money. What I disagree with is that banks are lending more than what people can afford, because the stated income or the no documentation type loan programs are virtually gone. So you have to be able to prove that you can afford that monthly payment. It's still incumbent on the individual to take that personal responsibility and know within their budget. But you know, banks lending to people that can't afford monthly payments anymore is hardly happening.
Right. I think a girlfriend of ours mentioned that you know, they got approved for, you know, it would make their payment extremely high. Maybe they could do it, but it would still be putting them, you know, in a challenging situation if they accepted. So I think people still have to be careful.
We talked about getting pre-approval basically to get thrown out of your house if you're getting too much money. But if there's stricter guidelines, then hopefully we can avoid that.
That's right.
So, Vince Ingui, good stuff. And it's good to hear Fox viewers are emailing you.
They are. We are making a difference every morning.
You guys are listening.
Tune in.
Good deal. Thank you, Vince.